It's time!
Round one. Fight! It's my favorite.
Which one is that one from?
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, bro. The best fighting game around.
I was actually never into Mortal Kombat.
What?
My first introduction to fighting games was Marvel vs. Capcom.
That's a good one. That's a good one. One of the most popular ones.
Yep.
You know what's not a good one?
Marvel, Tekken.
I have no whiskey in front of me. Session 13, right?
Yes, Session 13. What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Weeb the People. As always, I am your host with the most, Jay, joined together with both, once again, of my lovely and handsome co-hosts. To my... I'm just
this direction. To my end sentence.
To my left front.
Is the host without booze, cars, Rob, whichever you prefer, just deliver me alcohol and you can pick my name. Let's go with that. And to my left, we have...
It's Kenny B.
Man with the theme song.
Hello.
That's okay. We have our theme song. We have our opening theme song.
Well, I mean, he has his own theme song. He's got that character theme song.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was your character theme song?
Character music. Yeah.
It's like the sting, how it's like the section cut, just for the quick cut.
I think it's from Fire Emblem, I think.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Now I recognize the soundbite.
Yeah.
I've heard it too many times playing... I was about to say Smash Up. Actually, Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
We haven't played Smash Up in a while. We got to get a game in.
Yeah, it's been quite a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, this session, it's about stuff. We're going to talk about Weeb stuff again.
Mm-hmm. As always. Well, how you guys doing? How's your week?
I don't think they can reply because they haven't seen the episode yet.
Yeah.
That is true.
Are you guys catch any new shows or what?
I got to catch a couple episodes of the new season of Overlord.
Oh, actually did also.
Yeah.
I think I caught the first half of the first episode where Ains was trying on different clothes.
Yeah, because they were like, oh, try this. They were making clothes for him. He's like, isn't this a bit much?
Yeah, and he's like, I know I have to keep up appearances, but these clothes are way too much albedo. Oh wait, no, it wasn't albedo addressing him. It was one of his maids.
Yeah, because Albedo came in afterwards.
Yeah.
And of course she went for seduction mode again.
Of course, she always does. Yeah. Can't get enough of...
that skeletal bones.
Last week when we were talking about how Piccolo seems really black.
Yes.
I was thinking about his special move, right? Special beam cannon. And I was thinking to myself, because we were also talking about how things kind of get lost in translation. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering if the Western translation did that on purpose. Because I was like, I wonder if in Japanese they called it the big beam cannon. Because then it would be...
I know the names are different in Japanese, but I can't remember what they are.
Yeah, because then it would be a BBC.
That would be unintentional in the Japanese
Why did I
part,
not
probably.
notice that?
But then in America, they were like, oh, these fuckers, bro. Really? Black jokes, guys?
God damn it, Jay.
So they changed it to special beam cannon instead.
Yeah.
Woof.
How about you, Kenny? Have you seen any new stuff throughout the week?
I just finished Vinland Saga.
Oh, right. What'd you think?
Manga or anime?
It was the anime.
Okay.
Manga?
I'm not
there
yet.
yet.
Okay, the manga is... Damn, I can't wait for more.
As far as the anime goes, really good. I'm sad that Asuka Chad is not with us anymore.
That fucking scene though.
It was a good scene.
That scene was hype.
I was hoping to learn more about his backstory and stuff and see if he was gonna maybe rise to power.
Yeah, ultimately that was his goal.
Yeah.
And you see him just sacrifice everything on that spot.
Yeah.
And
He chose something different, chose a different path.
And damn, that was a powerful scene. That was extremely well built up to get to that point. It happens. You just fuck, did that just fucking happen?
Yeah, and then Thorfinn just loses his mind.
Yeah.
Man.
That actually triggers some crazy shit. Like Thorfinn's life completely changes from that.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of moments in Vinland Saga that just makes you go, what the fuck?
Yeah.
In a good way.
Yeah.
Especially because you're seeing it from the perspective of Thorfinn,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because he's such a... When we are first introduced to him, he's a young kid. He's like, what? not even 10 years
He's
old,
around like
right?
7.
Yeah,
when
and you see him like looking up. He wants to become like a Yom's Viking, like his father and everything.
like
Wants
his
to be
dad.
like,
Yeah. And then he gets exposed to
the reality of it.
exactly. Like extreme
how hard war and
how weak
killing,
he is.
gratuitous
how
amount
weak
of,
he is,
of violence.
Yeah.
And like the lack of mercy and empathy from everybody outside of his tribe.
Yes.
Dude.
It is a wild trip that you get taken down in Vinland Saga, which is why I want to one episode have the discussion of characters and their relationship with other characters, aka Thorfinn with Askeladd, mainly because that relationship that they have, obviously Thorfinn wants revenge for his father, but at the same time Askeladd's teaching him things along the way.
Yeah, because he knows he tries freely to take out Askeladd, can't.
Yeah.
And so he's like staying by him till the time he finally can.
Yeah.
So it's weird because he has this fatherly mentorship role now.
Yeah, I was about to say
but at the same time, it's the person he wants to exact vengeance on and kill. So it's a very interesting dynamic.
Yeah, it's a very, very interesting dynamic.
Yeah, I was actually going to say it actually goes back to one of the episodes that we talked about, mentorship. He was definitely one of the bigger role models for him, even though he was a enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what's cool about that relationship? When Askeladd killed his father, right? You knew, as an adult, you knew that scene, it was nothing personal, right? It was just business, right? That's why they could respect each other.
Yeah. You could say that he honored his father because he gave him a warrior's death, regardless.
Precisely, gave him a warrior's death, and so I think there's a part of Thorfinn as he grows up and matures throughout the show that realizes that, which is why, despite the fact that Askeladd killed his father, you can't help but respect that man, because Thorfinn held his father to such high regard, and then now you're learning from the man who was able to take him down. Yeah. So there's contempt there, but there's respect, and I think that dynamic exists in a lot of different kinds of rivalries, right?
Oh yeah, because I don't remember his name, but the big motherfucker,
the crazy motherfucker,
Bjorn?
The big crazy motherfucker,
yeah. Bjorn,
the one that worked with his dad.
Oh.
No, the one that they were originally pure enemies.
Thorkel?
Yes, Thorkel.
The big one?
The big motherfucker. Because originally they were enemies and trying to kill him, and then it was like a mutual respect thing, and then coming in and you have the dynamic of him trying to raise another warrior, like, oh, you are strong, you fought me, and here's more power, can you beat me if I'm actually at my fullest in a duel? And there's like lots of that. Everybody wants to kill each other, but everybody's friends, which is actually very like on point with Viking history, because a lot of it was like when they're training, they're trying to kill each other in training, but at the same time they're gonna like cut one of their arms to the point where it just falls limp from the tendon severed, and then pat each other in the back and have a beer later.
Yeah,
so.
That's true. Fun fact, the berserker mushroom was actually a home remedy that they used before battle.
Yeah, actually Vikings experimented a lot with like medicine and sorcery and a lot of things like that, and women actually held very powerful roles because they were like involved in that.
Yeah, it's a theme that I notice that it's very common across all good rivalries. Yeah. Like just look at Goku and Vegeta, look at Naruto and Sasuke. Even like for example, look at Gon and Killua.
Yeah.
Right.
Even though they have their friendship, they do have somewhat of a rivalry. Yeah.
And it's displayed throughout the whole series, right? They're always competing with each other, right? It's a playful way of competing.
Yeah, because they're like whenever one accomplishes something the other hasn't, they're proud of that person. They're not jealous. They're like, he learned his nen, he's expelled it like this. That's so cool. Now I need to work on mine.
Yeah. I think there's one point in the anime where Killua is upset that Gon is like somewhat surpassed him, and he's frustrated, but he also wants to try to get to that point at where Gon is. Because he wants to protect him because he's his friend. Yeah. Which is really beautiful to see. Yeah.
And I noticed that if you're really good friends with somebody, when you see them win, it's like you're excited. You want them to win more. You want them to succeed more. But at the same time, your thought process is, it's not that I want them to fail so I can be better. It's
I want to
winning,
top them when they're at the top. Yeah.
Like I want to be at their level because I want them to be able to recognize my efforts too.
Yep.
Especially if it's in like the same like category as yourself, you know? Like if you and I are like MMA fighters and you've won like 5 fights, I've only won 3.
Yeah.
Thinking like, man, he's a good fighter, but what am I doing wrong?
Yeah. What's that expression? Rising tide lifts all boats. Like that's how I feel when I'm around, my buddies.
I'm not religious.
Is that a religious statement?
I don't think so. I
was
think
a
he's
joke. It was
just
a joke.
I was gonna say I think he's just interjecting with some bullshit.
Oh my gosh. I took that so I'm like,
Yeah, you were like, hold up, I need to rethink where this quote came from
What
now.
the fuck are you talking about?
yeah, I was like, is that from scripture? But yeah, because when your friends are winning, it's like they take you up with you.
Yeah.
Right? Because they provide a driving force behind you, telling you that, hey man, I'm gonna leave you behind if you don't pick up the slack.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then they make you better.
Yeah.
Right? It's never, well, I'm better
Good
than you.
friends.
Right,
Good
exactly.
friends.
Yeah,
Good friends.
exactly. What's the I'll quote Dr. Peterson. He says, make friends with the people who want what's best for you. And that's what I think about, right? That's especially when I'm considering who my closest friends are. Like, are these people going to be the type of people who, if I'm winning, like they're going to be genuinely happy, or are they're going to try to like bring me down?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the both of you have experiences with people like that. And
Yeah, man.
I think I've done a pretty good job of cutting off that kind of people in my life, but my God, it was a process, especially recognizing them.
You kind of learn to vent that away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it can be hard because sometimes you don't recognize it till after the fact. And then it's like, shit, am I burning bridges? Are they burning bridges? How do I cut this tie? Do I cut this tie? How do I cut this tie? Should I cut this tie? And then you have to battle with that. And then it's like too late and they burn the bridge. And then it's like, well, shit, now I'm left in a bad spot.
Yeah.
And then you go through that phase of being distrustful and not connecting with anybody. And then you're like, shit, this isn't good either. So finding that middle point with like who to vet, how to balance, it's a rough spot. Yeah.
Thinking about, that made me think of Hisoka for some reason, because Hisoka's like the type of person, like he plays both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? He never really, truly, well, he does kill outright. So I guess
certainly, yes.
that'd be considered burning bridges, but it's, he has his hands in so many different aspects of the Hunter x Hunter world.
Yeah.
That he's never really disconnected from everything.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the way that I'm thinking about
However,
it. Right?
it is strictly for his benefit.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm thinking. Like for me, the way that I think about it is, even if I have beef with somebody, my thought process is, well, don't burn that bridge, because you might have beef with this person, but are they a good resource? Right? Do they have a network that you could potentially take advantage of? So that's kind of how I think about it.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever heard of the show? I started one new series this week, and I thought it was actually pretty good. It's called I Got Rejected, So I Shaved.
What the fuck?
Is it a dating show?
I got rejected, so I shaved and picked up a high school runaway. You guys ever,
Oh God. No.
All
ever
right,
heard of that show?
I know the song. It's when Fresh Prince stole his parents' Porsche.
What?
Yeah. Oh, you don't. Okay, so.
Oh no, I don't. Please educate me on the pop culture reference.
All right, so Will Smith, back when he was Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
I think it was from the track "Parents Just Don't Understand." And
Oh, this was his studio album.
yeah, this is from an actual
Okay,
track.
that's why I never actually
Yeah,
listened to the
DJ
studio
Jazzy
album.
Jeff, Fresh Prince.
Yeah, I never listened.
I knew he.
Dude,
had
there's
studio
some bops, man. They put out some fucking tracks, but
yeah.
in this track, basically, there's a segment where his parents go on vacation and his mom just got a brand new Porsche. So he's like, "Well, they might, of course not." And so he grabs the keys, go out on a joyride, dumb kid shit, and then picks up some girl on the street, goes and gets McDonald's, gets pulled over for speeding later, and then finds out it was some runaway.
Oh, that's a good pop culture reference. Yeah. No, it's actually a pretty cool show. I thought it was gonna be just one of those, because you know how generic light novels are,
Very.
right? It's very fan servicey. But this one is actually pretty cool because this guy Yoshida, right? The show opens with him finally working up the courage to ask this girl that he'd been fancying, Goto-san, for a while, right? He gets just flat out rejected. Yeah, so Yoshida-san just gets flat out rejected. So he goes home all depressed, and then on the side of the road by his apartment complex, he sees a high school girl just chilling there, and he doesn't want her to stay there alone, right? Because you're like a teenager,
Yeah.
and you're in the big city in the middle of the night. You should probably not be out here. And so he takes her in. He later finds out that she's a runaway, and she's all the way from the countryside, Hokkaido, I think. And so she's quite a ways because I think they're located in
Do they treat her as like the typical country bumpkin?
No.
Because they do that. I see that a lot in anime where like, oh, you're from the country, and it's some person with like, they don't speak properly. Their speech is always
the
equivalent of hick speech.
Yeah.
What you doing around here?
Yeah.
But here I am thinking that it's going to be a traditional fan service episode, and he's inquiring, right? Hey, so what have you been doing? You're so far away from home. You've been out here for quite a while. And she says, oh, I've basically been prostituting myself to different men so that they can allow me to stay at their places.
Woof.
What?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, so this is like
she
sounds like band life.
She's forthright with that information.
She's very forthright with the information. Yeah, I thought she was just kidding.
Yeah.
And then they showed flashbacks, and I was like, what the hell? So the show immediately takes on a much more serious overtone. Yeah. Right? Because Yoshida, despite what you may assume, right? Because there's a lot of assumptions you can make on the surface. You're like, he's gonna be the typical sleazy guy trying to get in her pants.
Get a little piece.
But instead he adopts he becomes a proxy for the dad, basically. So he becomes like a very powerful father figure in her life and trying to help her navigate her situation as a runaway. And the cool thing is, here's a super cool thing, right? In the first episode, she said something along the lines of, you're probably gonna look better and more attractive if you shave, right? So that's when he shaves, right? And in exchange for letting her stay there, her name is Sayu. She's like, okay, well, you're letting me stay here for free, and you're not really asking me to do anything like these other guys did. At the very least, I could clean your apartment.
Senko-san.
Yeah, right. cook some dinner for you and iron your clothes. And so she starts doing all of that, and then he goes back to work, and then all of his coworkers start talking. They're like, well, Yoshida-san, he shaved.
He's all cleaned up now.
He's starting to look more handsome because the guy is handsome already, right?
He just doesn't groom himself or take care of,
And he has a reputation in this company for being the go-to guy, right? They call him the problem solver. So it's not like he's one of those generic bum male role models.
Doesn't care, incompetent, just crummy all around.
Yeah.
Like Loid.
Yeah.
It's more of an Einstein where it's like, I'm disheveled, I'm just doing other shit.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So it's funny because now all of the women in his workplace are starting to recognize, I wonder if he got a girlfriend. Right?
Man,
he's shaven. He's a lot more cleaned up
every time.
Right? And it's like it's really interesting to observe the social dynamics, even though it's in the fictional world. And you're like thinking, the writer knows a thing or two about social intersectional dynamics, right?
He a player, right? Understand,
And the funny part is you find out later on that Goto-san, the girl that he asked out, is actually his superior. So they work together, and she starts noticing now too, right? And then suddenly she starts getting more attracted to him too. Right?
Vicious cycle, man.
It's so I thought it was just really cool because surface level you thought it was just going to be another one of those shows.
Yeah.
But then as soon as episode 1 ends, you're like, oh, it's gonna have a little bit more substance to it.
Yeah, there's a lot of real world parallels, man.
Yeah, like in particular, I like how they explore Yoshida's role as a father figure in Sayu's life, and then also being able to observe the intersexual dynamics between Yoshida and his female coworkers, because the relationships that they engage in are actually very good. Right? They're not the one-sided, all right, here's this trope, we're gonna make her attracted to him. Right? Here's the tsundere, here's the kudere, here's the
set up your little triangle, the tropes,
here's the
bully,
here's the,
and then the harem is there.
And then the harem is there, right? It's like every single archetype that you could fill a harem with, you fill it, but they're all one-dimensional, right? But not the women in this show in particular. So I thought it was
interesting.
Really cool. Yeah.
It sounds like this author knows just like people.
It's based off a light novel, so it's he's actually like what you would consider a traditional author. Like he actually wrote it. Yeah.
That's why I mentioned author instead of that.
Yeah.
There was a isekai I caught a month or two ago, and it was mediocre like most isekais. But one thing that did catch me in a positive manner was the writing of the protagonist, because he had that typical edgelord kind of shit going for him. and he was like rejected,
Sounds
sacrificed, betrayed, that kind of thing. And
sounds familiar.
Right? It's like everything. But and he kind of told himself like, you know what, I'm just gonna disconnect. And somehow he survived in the end, blah blah blah. And then he started leveling up in the dungeon and gaining powers. The typical trope. But he set a status for himself of not trusting people, not connecting to people. And normally when they do that, next thing you know, they have a horde of army friends around them, and everybody's their best friend, and that whole thing's discarded.
Yeah.
But they stuck to that, even when they regrouped with their like previous friends and teacher. He was just like, bye. And at one point, he even killed one of the other students, like right in front of his teacher. And at the moment, we're always going to turn around and save him, and he's going to be a good guy. No, just fucking executes him and walks away.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, a character that actually sticks to his fucking guns. I'll give it to him.
I like that because it's rare to find characters in fiction like that have conviction.
Because they usually always go soft at a certain point. And they're just like, oh, I'm going to be friends with everybody again. And everything's going to be happy-go-lucky. Nope. Just like, nope, not being friends with you. Not going to go back with you. Not going to help you. I'm going to kill this guy and bye.
Yeah. That's cool because you have the traditional isekai formula all there, right? But then what makes you stick to it is like, oh, this is actually a protagonist with some conviction.
It did lose more points because it did go with the typical harem trope thing.
Oh.
Despite that.
Well,
yeah. You had the lolly dragon girl who's so old and all. Yeah, so it still hit all the other tropes. That was just like one point that stood out. And I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I don't think any dragon girl can defeat Miss Kobayashi's dragon maid.
Well, this one explicitly liked anal.
Oh, okay. How does that work? Is it like in between?
At first, she was in full dragon form and like rampaging, and he was fighting her, not knowing it was like some regular girl, and attacked with like some tungsten rod from the sky or something, and it penetrated like her rear.
Yikes!
And then when he was pulling it out, because she's like, "Okay, I'll turn against the enemy. I'll be on your side or whatever," and he goes to pull it out, and she's enjoying it. And then later, like the scene popped up. It popped up again where she was like, "Can we do this again?"
Oh my goodness!
So it was a little, yeah.
Bro, do you guys ever wonder how donkey and dragon worked out?
Everybody wonders. Everybody wonders. Nobody wants to know.
Let's just say the magic happened. All right.
Well,
or it's pretty simple because powerful dragons can shapeshift.
Oh yeah, correct. Correct. Yeah, and Miss Kobayashi's dragon maid, they all shapeshift.
Yeah. So there you go. Easy peasy. That's not the fun answer, but that's probably the more realistic answer.
Yeah. You notice that's a common trope in a lot of. It's how they circumvent the bestiality theme. It's like, well, this supposed animal can shapeshift, so it's okay.
Well, technically.
The furry's got the werewolves. It's all good.
Exactly. And when they're in their human beast form, they retain just a little bit of the animalistic qualities, kind of like on Kurama when he's in his like lobo form.
Oh yeah.
He's got the tail, but he's still a very like androgynous, attractive human male. It's like that's borderline, but it's okay.
We'll let it slide.
Yeah. Or like in Rising of a Shield Hero. Right?
Oh.
Audrey was talking about it last episode with I forgot the
chicken girl?
The chicken
Philo?
girl. Yeah, Philo. Yeah, Philo pastry. Every time I hear her name, that's the thing that comes up in my head, Philo pastry.
I don't know enough about pastries.
Okay, well, that was fun. Spy Family.
Spy Family. Episode 9, we completed episode 8 in a previous session, so now we get to get past the credits of where Yor was leaning in for that kiss, or they were vice versa. It was Loid leaning in for the kiss. Yeah. And it just left us there.
Yeah, I like this episode because titled very appropriately, Show Me How in Love You Are. So as Car said, we left off the last episode with Loid leaning in for the kiss, right?
The cliffhanger.
Pure business.
Yeah, I've got a few images for you.
I love this face of Yuri right now. Kiss here and now.
I love it because you know exactly that they're related because look at his face, bro. He's
the narrow eyes and the blushing up here.
You know, it's like he's threatening it, but the thought of his sister
is disgusting.
Kissing another man like embarrasses him so much. You're thinking, is that
that almost looks like a scene straight out of Gintama.
Yeah, is it like, what do you call it when somebody has that alcohol glow? Is there a name for
Asian flush or something like that?
The Asian glow? I think it's the Asian glow. Is it the Asian glow, or is it because he's embarrassed that his sister is about to kiss her husband?
It's a little bit of both.
You know?
I think it's both.
Yeah. And then Loid over here, he's like, well, if that's all it takes. I'm thinking, well, Loid's probably, it's going to be part of the mission. So,
Yeah, he says that in his head. He's like, I've done this before where I've consorted with women. It's nothing. It's just business.
You remember the first episode?
With the date, yeah.
He breaks up with the daughter.
So nonchalantly, just like, okay, time's up, bye.
He's like, oh my god, yeah, it's not gonna work out. I'm gonna bounce.
And just straight face, doesn't care.
And then
Your face.
your son, bro. He's like,
what the fact that Loid so nonchalantly said that, and yours response was like, you're what? You're okay with this?
Dude,
what the fuck?
her facial expression in this scene, bro. Look at her bug eyes. Oh, dude, her eyes.
This is some Anya expression shit.
That's what I said. I was like, dude, like mother, like daughter. They look way too alike, yeah. And then
And then she blushes hella as Loid comes in. And even in her head, she's telling herself, like, we can do this. It's to hide. We gotta cover our marriage. We gotta hide it from Yuri. But at the same time, like, outwardly, she's just like...
She is so red.
Dude, look at this guy. He's so smooth.
He is. He's just like... I can't smolder like he can, so...
I like how Loid does it because he goes in slowly. Have you guys ever seen Hitch?
Yeah.
Oh, is it the 90%, 10% rule or something like that? Yeah.
Lloyd is doing that exactly. He's like going
You don't go
slowly.
to full 100.
You don't go to full 100? My mouth was open,
I
Albert.
go 90, you go 10.
Oh, man.
What the hell is wrong with you?
My man.
Oh, Will Smith.
Oh, that's one of my favorite Will Smith movies.
It's a good one.
Okay, that's such a good one. Yeah, but he's like, I like the way that Loid does it because he's obviously making it very explicit, like, hey, I'm going in for it, but not fast enough that it's gonna, like, you know, overwhelm her, right? He's like, I'm letting you come the last 10.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, so
this is the evidence we had that Yor has not experienced a kiss before.
Yeah, it's like overwhelmingly inexperienced, not just with people, but with guys in general.
And any sort of romance or intimacy.
You sweet, sweet child.
Yeah, because she thinks here, well, I think I remember somebody telling me that your first kiss was supposed to taste like lemons.
Where does that come from?
And then she was like, well, lemons would go well with this marinated dish.
What can I pair with this kiss?
And then she's thinking of the salmon. I was like, well, if you're gonna pair salmon with anything, it's usually just salt, pepper, and lemon. So I guess you couldn't have picked a better thing to marinate your salmon with than your lemon that tastes like the first kiss. And then
she hesitates. She hesitates.
Down a bottle.
Exactly. She goes to the alcohol that she's been banned from for this time to switch modes.
She's like,
there's no way I could do this sober.
There's no way I could do this sober.
And then she goes into like assassin mode again, but this time instead of lethality,
it's sexy assassin.
Yeah, sexy assassin.
Yeah, the
mode.
sexy assassin, bro. Oh my gosh.
And now Loid is the one taken aback.
Prove to me that you're really a married couple.
Yeah, and then
she's like the polar opposite of Loid. Loid goes in smooth and soft. Oh fuck, I forgot about Don't distract her. She was eyes set and Yuri's just like, okay, double down, let's do this. She throws the fork.
The hilarious thing about this is Yuri gets exactly what he asks for. He gets his just desserts, right? Because now, like Loid was trying to do it like very low key, but Yor over here is drunk Yor. She's like, I'm gonna go for it, right? Yeah. And she's got that very typical, like there's Faye Valentine. She's the femme fatale. The femme fatale, right? I feel bad for Yuri because he gets exactly what he asks for. He gets his just desserts. So Yor goes in for it, and she's not at all subtle about it.
No, like I said, it's the complete polar opposite of Loid. Loid's all in smooth and suave, and she's just like, push, shove. Let's go.
Dude, when she pushed him down onto the couch, I was like, whoa.
Damn, dude. I was going a little past this.
Dummy.
Yeah.
I was very impressed. Yeah. I was
Yuri is very much getting more than he bargained for.
You're in the oof.
Yeah, it was like, let me rewatch that a couple times.
Yeah, and then Yuri over here was like, oh shit.
He's like, what have I done? Oh shit, this is bad.
I was like, oh shit, she's actually gonna do it. Oh gosh. Second here, guys. He's like, oh no, she's actually going to do it. Oh my god.
What the fuck, my dude?
What the heck? Yuri, stop it. get some help.
He's embarrassed.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man. She's just on top of him, hand back.
And then it's like his Yuri vision. This is Yuri vision.
Yes, this is Yuri's POV.
Yeah, you know how like you've got like it's like that special effects scene that covers a screen whenever two people are starting to get it on.
Yeah.
It's like that's how Yuri is imagining you right now.
It hits the widescreen mode.
How lewd.
Oh my god. And then you know,
flashbacks.
So you get a flashback of Yuri when he was younger. And now you find out exactly how much of a siscon he is.
He is very much a siscon. This is
very
like
much a
explicit.
siscon.
I'm going to marry you when I grow up. Yeah.
Yeah, because here we go. He confesses that yeah, when I grow up, I'm gonna marry you. And then I don't think she knew exactly what the type of damages she was doing here.
Yeah, she just did the innocent, I'll wait for you kind of thing.
Yeah.
But now here's Yuri, seeing it all lost before him.
Oh my god.
You can't. No, seeing you kiss another man in front of me is just.
Yeah, and then
And then Yuri cannot follow through.
that's the thing, right? What I really liked about this scene is Yor plays that very common Japanese trope of the innocent maiden who has not had her first kiss yet.
Oh yeah.
Right. Because I think it's very reflective of Japanese culture just because they're so conservative, right? That's why people laugh when they won't take a drink out of somebody else's cup.
Oh yeah,
because it's an indirect kiss.
Yeah, secondary kiss.
Indirect kiss.
Indirect kiss, yeah,
indirect kiss. And then this is Yor right here displaying exactly that. And then she goes into the archetype, right? Like what does the girl do when she's shy and she doesn't want to kiss the guy? She's gonna fucking smack him. But Loid got like reflexes.
Yeah.
And this is as Yuri's diving in to stop it himself. So then you have the nice little lineup of him just getting fucking baseballed across the room.
Dude, this thing, bro, look. Yeah, she smacks him and Loid is just like, whoop.
Yeah, Yuri's
She's like,
out of there.
skirt. and then her fist or her open
hand,
palm
yeah.
strike. Just an open palm strike.
This guy looks like motherfucking Sasuke here getting his ass whooped.
Dude connects.
His face, this part of his face is over here now.
It's like it's a confluence of force from an expert assassin who's drunk. She has no limiter, so she can't hold back her strength.
And he's diving right into it head first.
And then with the strength of a pure maiden who has not had her first kiss yet. All of that,
The power of anime is on her side.
all of that force connecting with Yuri's face.
And it's like flat, full extension, perfect arc.
The fucking Loid.
His expression, he's dead. She killed him.
And then during this whole scene, I was thinking, did you see how far he went?
If there wasn't a wall, he would have gone a lot further.
Volleyball serve, dude.
Like, this is pure shonen combat scene, too.
Yeah.
You have, like, all the motion effects and blurs, the wide angle, spread out bodies. And
Yeah. Then when Yuri hits the wall,
poor little Anya.
I'm just like, ugh, is it the end of the world?
Back to sleep.
And she just goes right back to sleep. All right. So this scene, it seems like they're in the clear so far, because
Yuri is just as much of an idiot as his sister.
yeah, so, like congruent with his character and with Yor's character, Yuri's like, well, damn, I can't believe that just because you were like, I can't believe that just because I tried to stop you from doing lewd things with your husband,
That you damn near killed me.
that you damn near killed me.
Yeah. Because
So
he
you
doesn't
guys-
realize the slap was aimed at Loid. He interprets it coming straight at him.
Yeah. So you guys,
He's just drenched. He's just like drenched in blood from the impact. It's so over dramatic.
It's like, I guess he couldn't just wait to do naughty things with.
Like now in his head, he's playing it all out.
Yeah, and so he's like, "Oh, bro." Yuri was like, "Oh, I was a fool to test you. Maybe it was like a test for myself to see, if I could really trust you with my sister, right?"
Oh man.
And then he gets uppercutted again.
Because of his fucking, you may lay claim to my sister's lips. Smack.
And then that obviously embarrasses her.
See all the damage.
Yeah, we get a little bit more of an insight here, right? Because we know from last episode that Loid obviously already knows.
Yeah,
right?
that he's with the secret police, yeah.
He's already figured out exactly
He knows who Yuri is.
who Yuri is.
And Yuri's got his guard down at this point because he's so hyper-focused on his sister that he's completely forgotten about any other concept, which we see later when he's like, shit, I forgot to bug the place. And he's just like completely zoned out of it.
Yeah.
And it's just normal for them.
Yeah, because Loid over here is like, bro, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, and he's seeing Yuri do some weird shit. Now he's seeing Yuri do this weird shit. He's like, I guess it's just what their family does.
He is bleeding profusely.
Yeah, I was talking with Cars earlier. During the scene, right when Loid is trying to help out Yuri lashes out at him and says, because Loid is smiling, right? He's observing both Yor and Yuri and how they interact with each other.
Yeah.
And there's a comical element to it, right? But you could obviously see that they care for each other dearly. And so this endears Yuri to Loid, even though Yuri the whole time has been fairly hostile towards him.
Yeah.
And Yuri sees this and he snaps at him, right? He's like, is my failure as a brother amusing to you? And then Loid actually responds to Yuri and tells him, no, I'm just actually admiring how close you two are as siblings. I know that your parents have passed, right? So both of you must have gone through some significant hardship together because you were only young kids when that happened. And so I just really admire that part of you. And then, I was talking to Carlos earlier, and then you see Yuri's face kind of shift from this one of contempt. And there's Loid.
Yeah, Loid's face is
smiling.
completely guard down, pure wholeheartedness.
And then
And it catches Yuri off guard. He wasn't prepared for that. Like, oh wait, he actually means me well. This is pure? What?
yeah, exactly. And so I think that there's a part of Yuri here.
Look what he says. Thank you for protecting Yor up until now. You boss man, you.
Yeah, and then Loid says,
The assurance.
trying to assure Yuri, like, hey,
I got it from here.
I got, precisely. I've got it from here.
It's the exchange of like from father daughter to father boyfriend type.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Is very much the proxy fathership of him handing off.
Yeah. Because their parents have died, right?
Yeah.
Yuri, as over the top as he might seem, Yuri kind of represents the archetype of like the father, right? Because their parents are dead, he basically is the proxy for Yor's dad.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I think in this scene, the reason why Yuri is so over the top with his actions is, well, what does every father want for his daughter, right? Well, if she's gonna get married, right, he wants to make sure that the man that she's with is a good man. She's not just gonna be with him just because she loves him, but that he's a good man. And I think even though Yuri is not really somebody who's gonna admit that, the reason why he was able to leave here, like, there's a part of him that is at peace of like giving away Yor over to Loid, because Loid is obviously a very capable guy.
Yeah.
Right. On the surface, we know that he's lying about a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure he makes
I'm sure he got quite the spy salary. So
spy salary, right?
Yeah.
So and then
the man's buying castles.
yeah.
he just puts on somebody else's tab, so he's got infinite money from that regard.
Yeah. And well, he's obviously really skilled.
Yeah.
He's got the spy skills. He can fight.
He has spy kills too. Apparently.
Spy kills too, right?
Spy
and then,
skills, physically capable.
Yeah. Do you remember the
types.
last episode? Yuri tasted Loid's cooking, and he's like, oh fuck,
yeah.
he's also a really good cook, and he's also really handsome.
Yeah. And as we see kind of like later on in this episode, like he provides a lot of mentorship and guide. Like he's a good person on the inner side and wants to help other people be their better selves.
Yeah. But obviously, Yuri is not the type of person who would acknowledge Loid that easily.
No,
He's like,
one meeting ain't enough.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he slips up.
He's like, I know you're trying to trick my sister,
Yeah.
so I'm still gonna have you. And then he's like, you know what I mean. You will rue this day. Rue it.
His face covered in blood, blushing, pissed off. I'll have you exit.
And then finally, we transition over.
Loid is just like, was he gonna say he's gonna have me
He's
executed?
like, I'm pretty sure he was gonna say
That motherfucker. And then he checks for the wires.
Do we think he was going to say executed?
Oh, for sure.
Something
No
else.
question.
Yeah.
Definitely executed. Because he's the secret police, and that's basically like what his role is capturing spies, interrogating them, getting them killed.
I don't know.
Yeah, and then we had the following few scenes here. Lloyd's going through the apartment because he's like, well, if he's secret police, he probably tried to bug my apartment, not knowing that Yuri is exactly like his sister.
And completely oofed all of that and forgot everything he was planning to do.
All you have to do, oh god, that's dangerous. All you have to do is get alcohol in you, and then suddenly you're worthless to the mission.
I mean, that's why
Goodness.
certain things like that, you're not allowed to drink alcohol. Like, I remember when I was being selected for like presidential security and shit back when I was in the military, and one of the first questions they asked was like, oh, hey, has anybody had like a drink or alcohol or whatever? Everybody that raised their hands was kicked out.
That's a damn easy way to vet people right there.
Dude, they did it so casually because this was back when most of us were like 18 to 20-ish.
Yeah.
And so he's like, come on, we've had like a beer with our friends, a party, whatever, it's fine. And people were like, yeah. And then he's like, okay, get out. And where everybody's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. I like the scene here actually because I know you're obviously kind of embarrassed for Yuri's behavior. Thanks, Loid says, hey, I know he was a bit over the top, but
You were a courteous host regardless, yeah.
Right, as you know, he's really the only family I have, so I really appreciate the fact that despite his behavior tonight, that you were still willing to, like, you extended.
Hospitality.
Yeah, dude, because my God, can you imagine somebody started acting a fool like that?
You wouldn't be in my house much longer.
What do you get thrown out?
Sis calling brother.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it doesn't matter if he's
Yeah,
your
family or
brother-in-law,
not, he's getting the fuck gone.
right? And so I think this dinner really endeared Loid to your son, and I think it's a common theme throughout the episode too, because Loid does a whole bunch of stuff throughout the episode that really allows your son to see him more and more and more as a husband. Right? She might not like explicitly think of it that way, but she's gravitating more and more and more towards him to the point where maybe the lines between the pretend marriage
And the real one are starting to slowly blend together.
I would say like desirable man rather than husband, honestly.
Oh, for sure.
I think desirable man fits
For sure.
it more
Absolutely.
when it comes to her.
Absolutely. Yeah.
100%.
Well, Loid,
Big Daddy Lloyd, as we have
Big
called him.
Daddy Lloyd.
BDL. Yeah, and then as they're going to bed, Loid forgets that the room is still set up for
Let's go to bed. Oh, in separate beds, of course.
the lovey-dovey couples.
The pillows that just say
theme.
yes.
Oh, what the? Bro.
So back to Hunter x Hunter and the Nen system.
Anyway, the power system of Nen is
It's very well
very
laid out.
complex.
Dude. And then you get a little snippet of Yuri. He's like, because remember when Loid was like, hey, can I offer to get you a taxi? He's like, I don't need your help.
Yeah.
And this guy gets fucking lost.
This motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
It's like these two strangers.
He's like, hey, which way to the station? Dude, get to the hospital first.
And he's like, oh, fucking bloody.
You fool. You're
Bro, this guy trips me up. Then Anya.
And then we get the adorable little
Oh
Anya.
my gosh.
Morning.
Anya in her freaking, her morning gown is adorable.
She's always got her little horns on. It's cute.
I know. It's like, you go to sleep with those things, girl?
Yeah.
Apparently so.
I was like, they don't hurt. I was like,
Are they like fucking like?
Yeah, because we saw her like
entwined
sleep on
into
her
her
side too. So they got
yeah,
like,
because I'm
digging in.
like, doesn't that press up against your head?
I mean, hell, my ears get annoying.
Oh, yo. Have you ever seen Elf and Lead?
Yeah.
No,
Yo. Are those horns?
You haven't?
no, I haven't seen that.
Oh, damn.
I want
We gotta
to.
get Kenny to see Elfin
Yeah,
Lead.
Elf and Lead is...
Naked girl
Very-
with tentacles. No, that's a bad description.
Yeah, there's a lot.
It's not a wrong description. It's just a bad description.
And there's like...
It's fucking violent. It's unpleasant. It's very good.
Yeah, it's very good. Very good. Very mature. Very mature.
Very-
theme,
it
for
is-
sure. And not just because of the nudity and the violence.
Yeah, it's rough.
I like nudity.
I mean, yeah, that's not. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. It's just not the main theme.
Yeah, so next morning, Anya's pretty pissed.
Yeah, because she fell asleep before she was like, "I'm gonna stay up," and she was fucking out like a light.
Yeah, because she wakes up in the morning, right? And then she starts to read
the room.
Loid and Yours Mind. And Lloyd's like thinking, oh fuck, your brother's a part of the secret police.
Oh yeah, she's like, she immediately tingles it up and goes, "Oh shit, secret police, rival, bad guys."
And then look at her face.
She's got the Anya face.
She's like,
Greatest
what the fuck?
foe as a spy.
Like, what the hell did I miss out on? You mean my uncle is a part of the secret police?
Exciting. Everything's so exciting. Like, no matter what kind of danger the world puts her in, she's just like, this is cool.
And then she goes, this is my favorite line, right?
Give me back the excitement that I wanted.
Oh my god, she's like, why'd you wake me up, man? Give me back my excitement. Oh.
And now she's just tearful over lunch. Nom nom
Facial
tears.
expressions in this show.
Yeah. So this transition over to the next scene
Starts going a little downhill in tone.
Yeah. So we get a little bit. So this is when the serious overtones of the show start to come in.
Yeah.
Because now Loid is starting to.
He's getting paranoid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's starting to
distrustful.
wonder.
Starting to
And
question.
I actually like the way they framed this shot too. Not that the audience can see it, but they went to like a wide angle Dutch tilt to show that like
Yeah, it's
the
very,
world
like,
pulling away and
psycho-esque.
distancing from him. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like it's a two-parter, right? Loid is starting to become suspicious of your son, which is precisely what we thought was going to happen, right? It was either one or the other, or both parties are going to start becoming suspicious of each other. So this is what happens after dinner. But then it's a complete opposite of what happens with Yor. With Yor, she's actually starting to doubt herself
Yeah.
as a
a
wife.
mother and a wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a mother and as a wife. And you know what the cool part is? There's a scene here that I want to show you guys. It was when they were sending Anya off to school, right? So they're at the school bus, and they're sending Anya off to school. And Anya, like you said, she starts reading the room, right? And she says, "Papa and Mama has to get along."
Oh yeah. She
Right?
does say that.
Yeah.
And then you're and Loid are like,
Well, we
we're
get
actually-
along.
Yeah, we get along. We're
Yeah.
actually not fighting.
Yeah.
It's
It's because Anya's reading that behind the scenes of what each one's thinking to themselves, and she's putting that together, whereas they're thinking solely to themselves, not really thinking
Yeah.
of the other person in that
I
terms.
wonder what Lloyd's thinking when she says it. Like, man, she's so intuitive. How does she know that?
yeah,
I mean, Loid is dumb in that regard.
yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean,
Smart
you can't really
everywhere
blame her,
else.
you know?
Now, when
She's
it
got
comes to-
fucking, she's got fucking psychic abilities.
Yeah, and who's gonna think? Because it's not been shown in this that psychic abilities is like a common or known thing.
Yeah.
So there's no reason for him to think like, oh, she's psychic.
Yeah, and it gets to the point where the what I really love about Spy Family is that obviously Anya is explicitly an Esper, right? She could read minds.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you guys can agree with this. You know how kids, they're really good at not necessarily interpreting what adults are saying, but they're really good at reading emotion and reading the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
So it's like Anya can explicitly read minds, but in general, that's what kids kind of do.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's like they kind of read the room,
Yeah.
and Anya is feeling that between Yor and Loid.
Yeah, she's feeling conflict.
Yeah, Yor's starting to doubt herself as a mother and as a wife, and then Loid is starting to become suspicious of Yor. It's like so funny because this is, you know how like some guys are like, I start to become like, is she having an affair? Right?
Yeah.
And then they start going through all of these, like, and then obviously it's an extreme representation, right? You know, well, Loid bugging your son's collar. I'm surprised she didn't recognize that, bro.
I mean, I'm
Right?
not surprised because
World-class
you're.
assassin and she doesn't recognize a bug.
A
I mean,
bug?
she's not a spy. She's an assassin, and from what we've seen, she's kind of
Yeah, but I
ditzy
mean,
on the. She's
You would think that like her reflexes and her training would.
well, she doesn't have a reason to right now. I mean, they've gotten close enough where him reaching out to touch her while being unusual isn't hers. She doesn't see it as a threat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it's because
You give
oh, if I was to give your son the benefit of the doubt, I think it's because this is her first actual relationship with a guy. That we see how she reacts when Loid tries to like engage in any kind of intimacy with her.
Yeah.
Like she gets like really flustered.
Yeah, and we
So go ahead.
yeah we've seen her kind of already kind of put forth that she wants to make the effort to be more of a like motherly wife figure.
Yeah.
So she is also making a conscious effort to not automatically reflexively do what she might normally.
Yeah, precisely. And so because she gets extremely flustered and embarrassed, it's like the feminine side comes out and then it severely suppresses her assassin instincts.
Yeah.
And so the bug being tucked underneath her collar
Yeah,
by
because she's
Loid.
reacting more to, oh, he's reaching out to touch me, more so than, oh, what is he touching me for?
Yeah.
It's just
she's
like,
getting
ooh.
comfortable. Getting comfortable.
Yeah. And then so the
Don't worry about it.
Dude, when
Fucking Scarface comes in.
when Yuri gets back to work the next day and he's like, "Yeah, what the fuck happened to you, bro?" And then he just opens up his locker and all of the stickers in there
Fucking
are
creepy
like,
ass
dude,
syscon, bro.
Syscon, bro.
Syscon stalker
Classic
type.
like high school locker trope.
And this scene was actually really good because the Scarface inquires
About the husband,
how did the dinner go, and despite
everything
his
that he's had
contempt,
on his head,
Yuri can't help but admit he's actually a good guy.
and he's pissed about it.
He's fucking pissed about it. So much so that he's like, "Oh fuck, I forgot to bug their room."
Yeah. Funny.
Yeah.
Then he's kind of glad he didn't bug them, because now he's convinced that they're doing naughty things. So he's like, wait, if I bugged them, I would hear her voice during those. No, I can't.
Yeah, dude, that was hilarious. And then he starts banging his head onto the wall.
He's like getting that thought out of his head,
Yeah.
just smashed.
And then it's funny because apparently Yuri also has a reputation with his coworkers for being a terrible drunk. His Scarface over here is like, "I'm pretty sure you gave those injuries to yourself, didn't you?"
Yeah, and there's just no like reaction or anything, just like it happens.
Yeah. And then so
You're
we
sad as
transition.
hell.
This guy Yor
Yeah, we
sulking
got-
at her desk.
We get a scene transition here, right? So we follow Yor and she's at work. And I actually really like the scene because now you can see Yor-san, she's inquiring to her coworkers, right? Like, "Hey, what does it mean to be a good wife?" And then her coworkers are giving her some terrible fucking advice.
Which is not a surprise to us, the audience, because they're
Yeah.
just basic gossip bitches.
Bro, and then Camilla, I really dislike her, bro. She's like, "Well, it's obvious you can't be a good wife. Your husband is so much better than you." I was like, "Oh, you fucking bitch, dude. I just want to
Yeah, which carries over from the scene when she met Loid, because she was like, "Oh, what the hell? He's actually great. This is too good for her," kind of thing, and she just latched onto that.
Yeah, and she keeps instigating it. She's like, "Yeah, he's so much better than you. It's probably a good idea that you call it quits." I'm like,
You're
"Bro,
straight up preying on Yor's feelings right
Yeah,
now.
and on her
because she's having,
innocence.
because she's having these self doubt. She's having these innocent moments of like first experiencing these different things, and this bitch comes in and she's like, "Yeah, everything you're feeling is wrong. Fuck you. Stop."
yeah,
And it's just like, damn it, leave Yor alone.
yeah." I really do. You guys
Let's get
remember-
this shit. Let's get this bitch thrown in the gulag.
To the gulags you go. Do you guys remember what her boyfriend's name is?
Who cares?
Oh,
Camilla's?
yeah, Camilla.
I don't remember his name.
I hope-
I know he works with
Stewart or
Yuri,
something?
though.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
I hope he breaks up.
That's
with
all I
her.
remember is he works with
Yeah.
Yuri.
Yeah, see, because like Yor is pouring her heart out, trying to get some genuine advice from her like coworkers.
I mean, Camilla better hope that Yuri doesn't find out about her, bullying.
Ooh, that's what I'm saying. I hope Yuri finds out. All of a sudden, she has no coworkers the next day.
And then during the scene, her superior comes in, right, and asks Yor like, "Hey, can you deliver this letter to the post office for me?" And so Yor actually goes on this little errand, and we find out that Loid has been there the whole time, right? Because
Listening
he's now
to the bug.
Yeah, because now he's suspicious about her. He's like, "Well, I have to get to the bottom of this, right?" So he follows her to work and observes.
Doing spy shit.
So Yor gets asked to go on this little errand, and it's actually pretty cool because you could see, dude, the amount of effort that she's trying to put in. There's a scene right here when she sees this flyer, and the flyer is for
Joint bank account.
a joint bank account, and she starts thinking to herself, "Well, I don't really help out with the finances. Maybe I could offer Loid to help out with a little bit of the finances."
Yeah, she's thinking not in terms of pretending to be a wife, but of how could I sincerely help this family.
Yeah. And so it gets me even more upset at how her coworkers are treating her because, like, yo, this girl is genuinely asking you for advice because she sees you guys as women with a little bit more experience. Like, can you help me out here? Because in this case, I'm your underclassman, right?
And this is something that happens in real life a lot too, which is why people are so hesitant to ask for help, because they'll reach out to either the shittier group of friends
And they'll shame you for it.
and they'll shame you for it because it's like, oh, hey, can you help me with this? I've never been through this before, and I know you have. And it's like, oh, you haven't been, you loser, ha ha ha.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, okay, why did I ask for help?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that's
it's
what
like, well,
yours
why
going
am I
through
going to show
now.
my weakness to you if all I'm going to get
You're gonna prey
is,
on it.
is ridicule, right?
Yeah.
Which kind of goes back to the conversation we were having earlier about, only seek out friends that want what's best for you. Because those are the type of friends that if you come to them with this kind of problem,
They're going to sit
gonna
down and help you through it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to be able to give you some genuine advice and they're not gonna ridicule you for it, right? Well, I don't know.
I was gonna say there might be a little joshing around, but at the end of the day, they're actually gonna make an effort to assist her. Yeah.
Oh, you fucking bitch. What's up, man?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
All right,
man,
you dumb bitch. Let's talk.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Oh, somebody got the feels.
Yeah, exactly. And so I actually felt really bad for Yuri in that scene because she's genuinely trying to make an effort to be a good mother, to be a good wife, even though it's just quote unquote a pretend relationship, right? And it sucks because like it's the next scene is comical, but I feel even worse for her because Loid and Frankie.
Oh fuck, dude! When I saw them do this, I was like, "These motherfuckers! They actually went this far." Although Frankie, the comedic value of Frankie helped offset the tone.
It did. But
because at first you see Scarface walk up to Yuri, you're just like, "What the fuck, dude?"
I liked this scene.
Oh,
This part right here, like, it really shows you that like her morals, her innocence, and her feelings have led her to this loyalty that she does not want to break between Loid and Anya.
It's fun. It's interesting because she's not worried about herself; she's worried about her family in this situation.
To Loid's credit, I actually think it's a really good plan because what he's trying to accomplish here is, all right, well, if we try to make it seems like, so your son goes to the post office and drops off the mail, and then Loid and Frankie pick up the mail and interrogate your son. It says like, hey, it seems like your superior, Mr. Burns, sent a code that was
Burns.
that was
Thinking of fucking Simpsons.
Yeah, like that was obviously for Westalis, right? And here in this scripture, this code, he's making you out to be his accomplice.
Yeah,
right? And so
It's like, here's the cipher.
Yes, Loid's thinking is, all right, if she really is privy to the nature of Yuri's work, well, what is she gonna do? Well, she knows if she does know that he's with the secret police, she knows we're with the secret police. And so what is she gonna do? She's gonna say, oh, well, hold up, guys. My brother Yuri actually worked for the secret police.
Yeah.
Right? And so I should be good. And that's what Loid is trying to extract.
That's what he's more or less expecting,
Yeah. He's expecting for Yuri-san to use that as a cop-out, right? A getaway out of, like, literal get out of jail free card.
Put her under pressure and then let her squirm and be like, okay, fine, here it is.
Yeah, and now I know, right? And then that'll be the end of the marriage, right? Yep. But that's Yuri obviously does the complete opposite, right?
She stands her ground.
Yeah, she stands her ground, and she says that both her brother and her husband are actually, they're very kind and they're upstanding members of society. And despite who you may be and how you may threaten me, if you come after them, then you're gonna have me to answer for. Right. And then the killer, the Thorn Princess comes out, right? Because Frank.
Oh yeah, Frankie's just about eat shit.
Dude, I like you said, right? Frankie provides some really comical effect here because Frankie, whenever he's in character, he's playing a character. You know, when he was the villain.
Yeah, he's very, very in method acting.
He gets really into it.
Yeah. Scruffy.
Like throughout this whole scene,
he's just like sneering and coming up these angles. And
like Loid throughout the scene, he's like, bro,
the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, like it's a bit over the top. Like I appreciate you staying in character, but like, can we please stay the course here? And so Frankie, being the over the top method actor that he is, like lunges at Yor, and Yor just catches him.
Doesn't she break his arm?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what the move is.
I think was it like an armbar? I don't remember.
She does something to his arm.
Yeah, basically to like incapacitate him.
Yeah.
Right, and then she says, she goes into the spiel. If you threaten my husband,
there will be
or my brother, there's going to be consequences for you. And then I love how they managed to get out of it. Like they actually show.
Oh, this is the wrong cipher. Yeah. So nonchalantly, just like
made a mistake.
Wrong animal. Oh well.
I thought this meant this because of the panda cipher, but then over here at the bottom is the caterpillar. So
stupid ass shit.
So I was like, well, obviously, what we thought the panda meant obviously meant the opposite because the caterpillar says so. I'm like, and then you're being like the innocent.
Yeah,
she doesn't know what the fuck's going on.
In so many ways, she's so innocent that she just completely buys the story.
Yeah. I mean, we've already seen both her and her brother will buy some stupid shit. So
yeah, and then the following scenes, kind of display. I like the scenes that follow. So Yor leaves, and you're just left with Loid and Frankie, right? And they take off their disguise. It's funny because because Frankie was like explaining to him the nature of the secret police and about how he shouldn't. So explaining the nature of the mission to Loid and how he shouldn't feel sorry and develop feelings.
Yeah, because Loid very much, pretty much regrets everything he's done, all the doubt he's had for Yor. He's just like, I shouldn't have done this.
Yeah, you can see it in his expression.
Yeah.
It's funny because even though he's wearing the disguise,
his body language is just like,
yeah.
It's like the shoulders drooping, like, what have I done?
Yeah,
kind
he's
of thing.
extremely disappointed in himself.
Yeah.
Right? And then it's funny because he goes up to Frankie and like, I really don't want to hear you tell me that wearing that face.
Didn't Frankie want to like keep that face or something?
Yeah. Do you remember that, Kenny? Frankie was like, yo, I was hoping to keep that face for a while.
Oh, yeah,
girls.
because he made it for him, right? Lloyd made it for him?
Yeah, he was like, that was my good-looking guy face. I was hoping to pick up some girls with my good-looking guy face.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
and then Loid is like, you shouldn't engage in a relationship with deception.
This motherfucker.
Broken hypocrite.
Frankie's like, I don't want to hear that from you. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so it was good. It was good to put Frankie in that scene because otherwise the tone would have been pretty dark.
Yeah.
For Spy Family, like, oh, here's him spying on his wife, distrusting her, feeling regret afterwards. You're just left with down, down, down feeling. So having Frankie to uplift.
Yeah.
It was a good balancing
that
act.
throughout the series, Spy Family is so good at providing like a certain degree of levity to situations that would otherwise be extremely like be depressing to their audience, right?
Yeah.
Because you could feel exactly how Loid is feeling in that situation. He's down on himself. He's extremely disappointed. There's a big. It's like shame, right? He's ashamed of himself for what he's doing. And we transition over to the next scene, and your son is on the way home, right? To go home from work, and then here comes Loid, right? Oh, we just happen to be coming home from work at the same time. Let's take the train together.
Grabby grab, tossy toss,
and then Loid reaches in and he kind of takes the bug out of yours collar, right? And then, as if he wasn't already feeling shitty enough, right? Yor starts. I don't know if she's crying, but like she's got her head down.
She's sulking a bit.
Yeah, she's sulking.
You know how like. I'm not trying to compare it to a dog, but like when a dog, you see a dog head down, eyes down, tail between its legs.
Yeah, like it was going through trash or something.
Yeah, like they're feeling extremely down. Like that's how I felt looking at Yor there, and I was thinking to myself, dude,
you gotta say something.
Yeah, like you gotta say something.
And he does.
Yeah, he does.
Because now Yor's thinking, I'm sorry, it seems like I can't do anything right. I can't even keep up appearances correctly, right? Because Loid was like, I was just trying to fix her collar. So it makes her even feel worse about it. And then, to Loid's defense, he says that, no, you're actually, you think you're falling short, but you're actually doing a much better job than you may think.
Yeah, and he says something about how even people with actual families are trying so hard to keep up appearances that they're actually failing. So that she's doing more than she thinks she is, and she doesn't have to think about appearances.
Yeah.
And he uplifts her like, you already are this thing, you don't have to fake it.
Yeah.
I think doesn't he bring up what Anya said again, the 100 score, and he says like you're a part of that too or something?
No, he doesn't. But what Cars was saying, I really like.
I think that was in a later episode.
Okay.
Yeah, because Yor's worried about being bad at doing the pretend family.
Yeah, she's worried about the outward appearance and what others see them as. Yeah. And he's just like, don't worry about outward appearance.
Yeah. And then Loid comes in and he's like, hey, you might think you're doing a good job, but to me at least, it seems like you're doing a better job than most real families are.
Yeah.
Because to an extent, everybody is, like to Car's point, keeping up appearances.
Yeah.
Right? And to me and to Anya, you're doing a pretty damn good job of being a mom and being a wife. And then he's like, hey, why don't we go pick up some cake for our 1 year? Yeah, so I really enjoyed that scene there because it's a really good representation of how just common domestic partnerships go, right? When it comes to family, there are things that no matter how hard you might try, you're always going to fall short in some aspect because there's no exact roadmap to life.
No.
Oh,
Goodness, no.
100%.
Right? There are fundamentals that you can follow that if you do follow it correctly and you execute them properly, you can achieve a high degree of success. But when you consider the individual context, right? You put two humans together, put a child in that equation, and then you put society, and you put culture, and you put politics, and your religion, and you consider all of those different things. And then you have us, right? You have people, right? And it's a blessing and a curse at the same time, right? Because I think that's what makes people amazing too, right? Is that you could have a situation where Yuri is feeling so down on herself, she thinks she's fucking up all the time, but then Loid comes in and says, "Hey, you're not doing such a bad job." Kind of like how Anya encouraged both of them when they were feeling terrible at being pretend parents, and Anya says, "Guys, you're not doing such a bad job. I give you both 100 points." And then, they go home, and to kind of put a nice little neat bow on it, Anya, once again, very perceptive, reading the room, and says, "Oh,
Mommy
Mama
and Dad
Papa
are getting along.
now," right? And so, because they don't know that Anya
Is reading minds.
it's like to them,
They're outwardly appearing in a good way. Yeah.
it's like a sigh of like,
Relief. Like, oh, this is how
comfort.
people are seeing us. We're doing good.
we're doing good, right? It's like the weight off of your shoulders, as parents. Like, oh, now earlier she thought we were fighting, and now it seems like she sees us getting along. Because I think I we're not parents yet, but I think I can speak for parents when I say that you notice when you're conflicts with each other, how that affects your children.
Yeah,
and I don't think any parent wants that for their child.
Yeah.
And so when Loid and Yor see Anya and she realizes that they're getting along again, right? Even though they weren't really fighting, it provides both of them such a great degree of of
Comfort.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I thought that was just a really neat way to end the episode.
Yeah, it was a very wholesome episode,
Yeah.
I'd say, other than the Yuri parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
How lewd.
we're seeing a lot of like change when it comes to Loid. Like we were seeing back in episode 1, he was very like cold and calculated with
Very
the other-
individualistic.
Yeah.
worried about how he did the mission, not worried about how others interacted.
Yeah, like how he broke up with the first girlfriend.
Yeah, it was just like, okay, mission done.
Now
Bye.
we're seeing with Yor and Anya, he's allowed them to get close to him.
Yes.
So he's gaining feelings, he's gaining emotion for them, and I feel like we're gonna get an episode where he tells them the truth, where he's gonna reveal what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's going to come to a head somewhere where yours thing's going to come out, Anya's thing's going to come out, Lloyd's thing's going to come out, and there's going to be like this big old
I think Loid mostly because you guys pointed out like he was feeling very guilty about what he just put Yor through, and he's always getting tested by Anya as well.
Yeah.
So it's really becoming clear to me that like Loid's really he's really gaining humanity through these two.
Yeah.
And it's very wholesome to see.
Humanity, we haven't been back on that topic in a while.
Humanity.
You can see
humanization.
You can see it with every single episode, right? Like for example, in the beginning of this one, when Yor is going on for the kiss, you see him get visibly flustered.
Yeah. He wasn't expecting the tables to turn on him like that.
Yeah.
And so every single episode, you get a little bit more insight into the person that Loid could be if he wasn't wearing this veil of the spy.
Yeah.
Right.
If he wasn't, we're seeing Loid more than we're seeing Twilight.
Yeah.
And then obviously with your son, we know that she's a Thorn Princess, but it's like you see a lot more human from Yor than the Thorn Princess, right? You see glimpses, but for the most part, you see Yor as
You can just see her be
the
a
wife
woman.
and the mom.
Yeah.
Right. I think somewhere down along the line it's gonna switch because now you see a lot more of Twilight than you see of Loid, and you see a lot of Yor than you do of Thorn Princess. Somewhere down along the line that might switch.
Gonna see some more kills, more blood splatter.
Maybe.
Right? It's like Yor is gonna find out that he's a spy, and then she's like, "All right, Thorn Princess time, right? You've been lying to me the whole time, and you've been lying to Anya." And then Loid is gonna come in. No. I knew that was my mission from the beginning. But this is me, Loid Forger, the man that you fell in love with, and Anya's dad. So now it's gonna be the complete opposite, right? Now he's gonna be like he's gonna try so hard to convince Yor otherwise and Anya otherwise.
Yeah,
I think that's gonna happen.
I feel like it's gonna be,
that'd be
more like what Kenny said, where Lloyd's gonna come forth and be like, "Yo, listen, I'm a spy," because he's so precautious and well alert, and Yor's so aloof that it would take a lot for Yor to be on the flip side. And even then, I feel like she would have to verify before acting, partially because of Anya's sake. So I think it would be more of like Lloyd giving me like, "Oh, yo, hold up, this mission is now endangering them. I need to be forthright, tell them what's going on explicitly." And then I could see something happen like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, it can go a number.
There's so many ways this can go.
So many ways.
Like,
that's why the show's so good.
For me, the conflict would be more interesting, but I can see it going where it's like they band together.
Yeah, I've just been.
I mean, I still see the banding together for Anya's sake.
Yeah.
Like somebody finding out, "Oh, she's a telepath. Let's go fucking get this bitch." And then all of a sudden they're both like,
It was funny, like the manga readers know.
The manga readers are watching us like, "You dumb bitches, you don't even know."
They're gonna be in the comments.
Yeah. You're so wrong.
These guys are so fucking stupid.
It's like
you're not ready for what happens.
It's like it's either one or the other, and they're like,
Anya kills them both.
They're both wrong.
She's been lying the whole time. She doesn't like him.
Oh my god, the finesse. She was just like trying to find a. She was just in it for the entertainment.
Yeah, she just wants some peanuts.
This was Thor Princess the whole time, and Twilight was the target.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I think that's a great way to wrap up session number 11. Correct? 13?
13, my dude. Lucky 13.
13 episodes
We're early in the double digits.
That is amazing. I said earlier, like a few episodes ago, I didn't think we'd make it this far, but it seems like
we got a long way to go.
Yeah, we're going pretty strong, man. And
we got a lot to say, and we're willing to go to distance.
There's so much Weeb shit to talk about, and Weeb as people have to say it.
Yeah, every single episode, it seems like I'm just enjoying more and more of this conversation.
Until I have to cut in and stop them so we can end the video.
Yeah. But as
if you guys
always,
know any editors out there that work for free, let us know, man.
Do we want that reputation out there of the YouTubers who don't pay editors?
With the guarantee that once we start getting paid, you'll be the first one to get paid, because editing is like, well, Cars could speak to it, but as always,
it takes my time.
Yeah, as always, we thank all of you guys for joining us, whether you are listening to us on the podcast or watching on YouTube. We know that time is your most valuable. I think your valuable asset.
He's had the your liquor now.
Yeah, and we do very much appreciate that you spent a little bit of that with us. As always, you can find me at agent_JSCHROTH on Instagram. Cars, where can they find you, brother?
You can find me in bed because it's nap time. But before that, or after that, I suppose, you can find me on Instagram at cars_and_cosplay. Kenny, where can they find you?
You can find me over at the Jazz Club on 9th Street.
Sir, Jazz Club on 9th Street.
He'll be singing.
Also on Instagram at Sir Kennethy. SIRKENNETHY.
Damn, that's KMBY Radio 98.6.
If you guys enjoyed that episode, please remember to comment,
share, subscribe, ring the bell, ding, the stuff that you hear other YouTubers say.
Exactly. Likes are free, guys.
Yeah, and talk to us.
Call me a bitch in the comments.
do suck at replying to comments, but that's only because we don't get enough of them.
And then the audience is like, well, you should respond to me. I'm your only commenter.
Dude, some of those, it's been like 3 weeks and I saw the comment and I was like, oops, reply. But if you guys comment more, I'll be on it better. But yes, thank you. Love you. Bye.
Yep. Until next time, take care.
Weeb out.